ShartimusPrime. Reading comics, toys are hella sick, hella whacking it. Taking bad hits, taking back hits. Got a lot of stuff on my plate. I make the dummies. Hey, what's up, you guys? ShartimusPrime here, doing another Revoltech action figure review on the sci-fi Revoltech Spider-Man 3 Spider-Man figure. I gotta give a big thanks to Terry for sending this out my way. I didn't ask for it or anything, and I really appreciate it, man. I think it was my top 10 Spider-Man figures of all time, and I mentioned I didn't have this one, and it looks very cool. Anyway, on the side, you can see an image of Spidey right there, and then you get Spider-Man right there along with the base. And then on this side, you can see some information on how the Revoltech joints work as well on the bottom right over here. Not much more on the top. Then you have some Velcro holding this together, and then you can see some images from the Spider-Man 3 movie, and then you can see the figure inside right over there. So let's get to it and crack this thing open. And here's Spider-Man out of the packaging up on his display base, and I do have mixed feelings about this figure. Now I'm going to give an honest review, even though it was a gift from a viewer. I'm still going to be honest about it. There are things I like about this piece, but then there's definitely things that I do not like about it. I did have a break happen, and that's very frustrating. But anyway, he does come with a lot of accessories, so let's get a closer look at those, and then we'll get a closer look at Spidey. So here's all the accessories that come with this Spidey figure, and let's start out with the base over here, which I have a love-hate relationship with, because I do like how it looks. I mean, look at this nice black and brown on here. I think that looks really cool. I guess this pipe could have been painted silver or gray. We get some nice texturing on the top of the eave right over here, and it's just hollow and empty on the inside, and we get some nice fading right over there and texturing at the bottom, so that's pretty neat. And then you get your typical old school Revoltech stand. Now this does not port into the bottom very well. This comes out so much easier than I'd like it to. I mean, you can see it does go in there, but when you can see it just came apart right there, and that's extremely frustrating. Now I do like that you can turn this around, because if you have Spidey on one side or the other, you can, you know, balance it out with this piece swiveling side to side like that. You also get these 4 different pegs over here. I'm just going to show one of them, but yeah, they're not articulated, and you get these different holes throughout, so you can have Spidey leaning against the wall. You get some ports up over here at the very top, and you get 4 of these at the bottom. So yeah, that helps playing, you know, once I get the figure posed on this the way I like it to, it looks cool to me. It's just very difficult getting that done, especially balancing everything correctly. You get this little Spider-Man plaque right over here, and it just ports into one of these guys, so if you want to do that. It's actually tricky to do. I had to really force that in there, and you can have that going on, and you can plug it into the base like that if you want to do that. You get this little container, so you could put all your accessories in there, so that's pretty cool. And then you also get a couple of web lines, which I like. You get one web line and then one thwipping web. But yeah, I like how this is sculpted, you know? I like how it's all got the little notches in there and everything, so that's pretty cool. And then you get the smaller one right over here, and you just wrap that around the wrist, so that's pretty neat. I wish this was longer. It's kind of funny looking that it's so short, so if it, you know, just had a little bit more going on. And I wish this was bendy too, you know? I mean, it's pliable, but it won't stay in position, and it does have a port over there, so you could plug one of these guys right here into this, and then plug this into the roof if you'd like. And then we get all these interchangeable hands. So we get a pair of fisted hands, which look pretty good. This one actually got stuck and broke the wrist peg, so yeah, that's very frustrating. So what I've been doing is posing the figure around by adding some wax provided by the ACBA cutouts, shout out, and yeah, so that's helped a lot. We also get web grabbing hands for each side right there. We also get the thwipping hands, and then we get the wall crawling hands. Now right when I opened up that flap and looked at this figure, I could see why Terry picked up 2 of these figures, because the paint apps on this head sculpt are just a bit off. I mean, you could really see, especially on that right eye piece, it's not matching the molding of the face, so it's a little bit too far off to his right, so it should be centered a little bit more, and the cobwebbing just looks a little wacky. It's just not lined up correctly over here. Not the biggest problem in the world, but you know, definitely worth mentioning, and I don't want to sound ungrateful for the free figure or anything. It's just, you know, I noticed it's there. I still got to make the review, and you can see how it's not really matching up on the top of the head either. So yeah, you get that, and then I do like that the cobwebbing is all sculpted on there though. The spider logo looks pretty good. I don't really like these little panel thingies that stick up over here. That's just a little bit weird to me. I love this shimmery metallic blue though. I think that's very cool. I like that a lot. That makes me very happy. Very nice shimmery vibrant blue. I think they're very accurate on the rest of the cobwebbing and paint, though. That looks really nice, and I like that they've changed this so that one side of the Revoltech joint is blue and the other side is red, and I just knocked off that hand that was held together with the wax. And then looking at the rest of this vibrant blue color, it looks very metallic and shiny, and I dig that a lot. So yeah, you know, for the most part, paint apps came out very clean. I love how that we have that metallic sheen even on these Revoltech joints right over here too, so that's pretty cool. And he does have peg holes at the bottom of his feet, of course. One thing I need to mention is that when I first opened this, the neck was backwards, so I didn't think I was able to move his head up, but I rotated the neck around and I am able to get his head moving upwards that much, and he can look down very far. You get side to side movement and you do get head tilting, but like a Revoltech joint does, you got to turn that joint around and then put this back together right here like so, and then you get the head tiltage going on like that. See, that's how that works with the Revoltech joints. Shoulder joints move outward. You can move them down. You could rotate 360. You could rotate at the joint right there. You get rotation at the elbow. He bends in that far at the elbow. You could also rotate at the forearm, and then the wrist turns side to side and hinge up and down, except for that one. And then you get a diaphragm joint that turns side to side, crunches forward that much, and without coming apart on me, crunches back very far, and you get the rotation right there. And of course you can get some pivot, just like how I showed with that neck joint right there. Same thing with the waist joint. You could turn him forward that much at the waist and he'll bend back that far at the waist. You also get side to side movement over here, and then there goes the hand, and then you could pivot if you want to turn that Revoltech joint around. Now the leg joints are a little weird. Now you can get him all the way outwards so that he is doing the splits, but I did pop that off the peg right there, and then there goes the body. Yeah, dang it, come on. Stay with me, Spidey. Yeah, there we go. I'm having a hard time getting the right leg to turn all the way out like how I did with this left leg right there, but you can do it. You just have to finagle it correctly. You can also get him kicking forward very high, that much, and he will kick back that much. You get an upper thigh cut. You get a single jointed knee that bends in quite a bit, and again, this just came out. And then you also get rotation at the knee. And the ankles do have pivot right over here. You can turn them downward, you can turn them upward. We have toe articulation, and you can rotate the ankles side to side. Now measuring out this Revoltech Spidey figure, you can see that he's standing right at 5.5 inches tall. Then here he is next to another Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movie figure. We have the Toy Biz Spider-Man 2 Magnetic Spidey. Then here's the Revoltech Spider-Man 3 figure next to the Marvel Legends Spider-Man 3 black suited Spidey figure. Thank you to the person who sent this out to me. I'm sorry, your name escapes me at the moment. And then here's the Spider-Man 3 Revoltech Spider-Man next to the Marvel Legends Spider-Man 3 Venom. And these do not fit into scale with each other at all. Then comparing this Revoltech Spider-Man to a couple other import movie Spider-Man figures, we have the Amazing Spider-Man 1 Figma Spider-Man, and then we have the Amazing Spider-Man 2 Mafex Spidey. And then here's our Spider-Man 3 Revoltech Spidey next to the Amazing Yamaguchi figure complex Spider-Man from Revoltech as well. And yeah, you can see, I mean, the scaling is totally different. This is a much older Revoltech figure over here, and this is their brand new line right there. And then here he is next to the Marvel Legends Big Time Letdown Spider-Man. So again, I gotta say thank you, Terry, for sending this figure out to me. I did have a lot of complaints, and I did have the break on the figure, but I gotta say, I still adore this figure. I'm still very happy to have this figure in my collection. It marks a time when we didn't have other import figures like Mafex and SH Figuarts at the time doing stuff like this, so this is very much ahead of its time, and it stands up okay compared to the new imports that we're getting nowadays. What really sells the figure for me a lot is the base. The base just makes it happen for me, and I like the bases that come with these import figures. That's why I have my SH Figuarts Spider-Man Homecoming figure pre-ordered with the optional base. So I do hope to get that figure sooner than later, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment down below, let me know what you think of this review, let me know what you think of the figure. Also, if you want to hit that subscribe button for more ShartimusPrime videos coming your way, please go ahead and do so. I would appreciate it, as well as hitting that notification bell so you know immediately when the next video is posted. Also, if you want to support this YouTube channel, please go ahead and check the link in the description below to the Patreon account. Gotta thank all these people for being patrons. And for those of you that are sending me stuff, I'm gonna start adding your names to the big blue wall, alright? So I gotta show thanks. Terry, you're on there as well. Thank you so much, you guys. Anyway, if you want to see a photo gallery of images, it'll be up at ShartimusPrime.net, and you can follow me on the Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. I'll catch you guys later. Peace! I'm gonna play with my toys today. 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 Well, I don't care what the strangers say. I'm gonna play with my toys today. That's crispy. Hey, new Shartimus Prime videos. Hey, you should click one. Yeah, click on one of them. Or subscribe if you haven't. Your face.